Welcome to this Ask the Experts. I'm joined by Hojjat Jafarpour, CEO and founder here at DeltaStream. Welcome, Hojjat, and thank you for joining me today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So I want to dig into a bit of your background before DeltaStream and what's happening at DeltaStream right now. And I thought, we could just dive in with what were you doing before DeltaStream?
Yeah, I can give you a quick summary of that. I have been in data space for a long time. Interestingly, my PhD also was in PubSubscribe and streaming space. And after a little bit break from the streaming and PubSub world working in big data space, I had the opportunity to join Confluent when it was a small company. And I remember the conversation that I had with one of the co-founders, Neha, that she told me that they want to have a secure layer on top of Kafka so people could do stream processing without having to write Java code or compiling code and those type of things. And it very much resonated with me because of the streaming space that I had some background on it. And also I built some secure layers on top of different systems. So it felt very kind of like natural that, yes, this would be an interesting project. So I joined Confluent. I started a project that we called it KSQL initially. Later, we renamed it to KSQLdb. And the idea was to have a SQL layer on top of Kafka that you would be able to write continuous queries, unlike the normal queries that you would write in databases. These are continuous queries that sit on top of Kafka. As data comes to Kafka streams, they would pick up the data, continuously process it, and create the results continuously. So that went on to become one of the main offerings of Confluent, both in Confluent Platform and Confluent Cloud.
And that's a non-trivial project. I mean, that was something to pull that off.
It was, it involved different kind of like skill sets, if you will, understanding databases, compilers, of course, streaming and series systems. But it was a lot of fun to build the project. And also, if I understand correctly, it was one of the first secure layer on top of Kafka. So once we released it in Kafka Summit 2017, a lot of interesting reaction from the community and very interesting times, let's put it this way.
That's cool. So from working on that, how did that inspire you to go on to do DeltaStream, and how is Flink, kind of fit into that equation?
When you build something the first time, you kind of like make some assumptions and you start building it. And as people start using it, you see like a good part of it, weakness of the project, and you learn a lot. And on top of that, last year of my time at Confluent, I moved from engineering to more customer-facing role. We had a team called Advanced Technology Group that we had subject matter experts that would help our field team to deal with questions for customers, prospects. And I was subject matter expert in stream processing. This gave me an opportunity to talk to many of the customers and prospects and understand their use cases, see how KSQL was being used and what worked, what didn't work. And that was one of the kind of like final inspirations that resulted in the idea of like, we need the next generation of these systems to kind of like address the shortcomings of the existing solutions that we have. And that was the trigger to kind of like start DeltaStream and build something from scratch that makes stream processing as simple as possible. So we wanted to build the platform in a way that simplifies getting insight from your stream data, process it, and all the needs that you would need to process this stream data. And we needed a stream processing engine. And there were a couple of options. KSQL was using Kafka streams, and you had Flink, which was an up-and-coming platform. I think the reason that we went Flink mainly was that even though it works really well with Kafka, but it wasn't tied completely to Kafka. You would be able to use Flink with other systems to unlock KSQL and Kafka streams that was the underlying engine for KSQL. It was working with one Kafka cluster. You wouldn't be able to go beyond Kafka. It was very tightly coupled with Kafka. So I would say main reason for picking Flink was, of course, the flexibility with working with different systems in addition to Kafka. But there were other aspects of Flink that kind of like made it much more appropriate for our plan. But there was a big kind of like a challenge with Flink for producers, which was the complexity of operating Flink. So with using Flink in our platform, you kind of like take a bit of complexity of Flink, but you need the power of Flink for the users to get instant for this.
Yeah, I started first playing with Flink a couple years ago, and the complexity can't be understated. Being able to
Absolutely.
abstract that away certainly is helpful. Um, so with that, kind of what's your take on the shift from batch processing to real-time streaming? Do you think the shift is going to be primarily towards fully real-time, or kind of what's your prognostication there?
Uh, I would say each of these systems have their own place, but if you want to perform analytics, then your historical data of several years, the batch data processing systems have been optimized for these type of place workloads and did perfect uh, capability. They provide perfect and very good capabilities for these type of things. On the other hand, for streaming and real time low latency use cases, you have streaming side. I would say that a lot of times people, because of those complexities, can do like settle with the batch systems that have more maturity. There are more solutions that simplify processing. But as we see with solutions like DeltaStream, we are providing capability of processing your streaming data by taking away the complexity. So that kind of like unlocks that kind of like challenge of like using streaming data, stream processing or streaming systems. That complexity was a big hurdle for the folks. It taking away the complexity, we are seeing actually more and more use cases that people, because of that complexity, were just taking it to batch and settling with the hour latency or daily latency. Now with just simply moving it to streaming without having to make that much changes or without having to deal with complexity of stream processing systems, they get the value. So with this caveat, I think more and more workloads that naturally are streaming workloads, but because of the complexity of stream processing systems, have them done in batch, we can move them to streamings.
Well, with the latest craze from the last 18 months, AI, how would you see real-time data impacting like the future of AI and machine learning?
I see the whole AI wave that we are seeing as a big tailwind for streaming data and real-time data. Because if you look at it, like your main focus has been on the infrastructure, GPUs, LLMs so far. But as you move to build applications on top of this infrastructure, you are going to need data, and real-time data is going to be a big part of it. Any application that you build in that first and foremost needs the right amount of the right data, the clean and not garbage data, but also in a timely fashion, and the need to can the results in a reach to. So it is going to be a big tailwind for systems that provide these type of compute capabilities for any application that you are going to build based on AI.
Well, it's a brave new world. It'll be interesting to see how those things tie together.
Absolutely.
So there was a big announcement for DeltaStream mid-September, and that was the Series A. So with that sort of jet fuel, rocket fuel in there, what's next for DeltaStream now?
Uh, that's right. We announced our Series A couple of weeks ago, and it was a big milestone for us. And it was another testament the market and the uh, believe that the investors that invest in DeltaStream that this is an area that we are going to see tremendous growth. And the expansion of capabilities of the product is going to be one of the big parts that we've been investing in. So we started with building a stream processing platform. You're seeing a natural expansion of capabilities to kind of like um, bring capabilities and not just for real time and streaming data, but kind of like combining that capabilities that you want to have your data in both batch and streaming sense. I'm just going to give a little bit of that for you now, and hopefully we're going to hear more interesting news about capabilities in the near future.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your day and talking about this stuff with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.